7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fresh Refresh presents Que Hola, where we talk to various movers and hustlers who are popping off and succeeding in the 305 and at the same time influencing the culture. I'm your boy D Fig. Holla at your boy when you see me in the street. Ew! Thank you so much for tuning into the podcast, the Que Hola podcast. You know what it is. It's your boy D Fig. Holla at your boy when you see me in the street. We're in another episode. Thank you to everybody that's been subscribing, sharing with their friends. And if they hate it, sharing it with the enemies. Thank you for everybody listening. In this episode, we sat down with Vikina, an awesome musician, creative out of South Florida, born and raised 305 made me. Like she says. It's so funny. This episode is chock full of dope, insightful comments about creating music, about being a creative in general. Thank you so much for Vikina for coming on. And without further ado, let's get into it, man. All right? Listo.
Same time, it was like a pick stitch app that I would use to put like 3 videos on top of one, and I would sing a new harmony on each one. Okay. And I was like, dude, that was like 2011. You've been following me since then. Holy shit. Like, right?
That's dope.
It's super cool. Like, wow, people remember that.
You have anybody that you follow like that?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, a few people. I follow hustlers in Miami.
People that you like, that you've really been following for a minute.
Yeah.
Who would you say somebody like that is?
A lot of the radio personalities like Lucy Lopez and like
Lo.
Frankie P and like like other singers like Too Nice and Cito and Momo. I don't know. Who's her name?
Throwback that you say, okay, I've seen these people for like on my feed for the last 10 years.
Laz.
Laz.
I didn't
like,
follow his Instagram though until recently, actually. I don't know, like Miami related.
Anybody that you really been following for a minute.
Oh, okay.
Like,
I'll tell you what. This girl named Queen Herbie. I think she's from like Detroit,
okay.
right? Queen Herbie. She was in like a band called Carmen. So it was her and like her ex-boyfriend. Okay. And they were famous on YouTube when like YouTube was like first popping off, right? And she did like that Busta Rhymes rap, and she's this white girl doing like redhead. Yeah. Doing this Busta Rhymes rap. And she became super viral on YouTube from that. And then she got a record deal, and then she's kind of like evolved as an artist. Yeah. And now she's really killing it on like the Instagram and on the Instagram like reels and stuff, and like a lot of her songs are now officially trending. And I always liked her because she sings and she raps, okay, which I think is really cool, like because she's got like dope range and she does all of the singer things, but then she has bars. And
it's a hard thing to juggle both those things,
and she does it, and all of her videos are like art, you know, like she's an inspiration to me.
That's what's up. That's
Little
what's up.
known.
So we are in another episode of the Que Hola podcast. Ya tu sabes what it is. It's your boy D Fig. Holla at your boy when you see me in the street. In today's episode, you already know what it is.
D Fit, who gave you that name?
D Fig, me, myself, and I. My name is Darwin Figueroa.
Oh, I like that.
So I would just call myself D Fig.
I gave myself my name too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's what's up. So we'll talk about that. So we have in the studio Vikina. Vikina, thank you so much for coming on to the Que Hola podcast.
Oh, I made it. You
made it. You made it.
We made it.
We've been able to come together today, and I really wanted to I came across your hustle through Jenny Lee. All right, so she's the one who really put me on to you, and she's like, man,
fellow hustler.
Shout out Jenny Lee. We were just talking about you a second ago. Hopefully, you know, money is falling on you and prospering. As she put me on to because I asked her, I was like, who do you feels like popping right now, like who put it on for the culture in South Florida? And she mentioned you, and she's like, you should really follow this girl, see what she's all about, da da da. And I was like, yo, I was really taken aback. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna reach out to you. You was like, yeah, let's do this shit. What's up?
I'm so about it.
You're like,
I'm so about it.
Yeah, that shit was fresh, and yeah, here we are. So
I think it's super important to like collaborate and share and grow. And if my city doesn't fuck with me, like what the fuck am I doing? Sorry,
Yeah,
can
man.
I?
No, you can curse. Curse as fuck. Curse as fuck.
Curse as fuck.
Yeah,
Alright, cool.
curse AF in this bitch. This shit is explicit. We talk about all types of shit. So
Yeah.
you born and raised in Dade County?
Yeah, Dade County made me.
All right, all right. What high school did you go to?
I went to Archbishop Carroll.
Archbishop Carroll.
It's like
That's
super Sawasera. It's like it's like the school in Chrome.
Damn.
Yeah.
Shit. Archbishop. That's like deep down south?
Deep down south, like Kendall 167.
Oh, that's not even deep down south. I'm from deep down south. I'm 216.
Oh, okay.
Color Ridge
Like
Ghouls.
Color Ridge. I didn't say Color Ridge though. I would have claimed Color Ridge. I'm
No,
a
no,
Kendallian
you know.
to the death.
Okay, so it's a Kendall school. Damn, it's a
Kendall
private
vibes.
school?
Private school.
Oh, okay, that's why I really don't know much about
Nah,
it.
it's all right. I went to like private Catholic school my whole life.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, I learned my gift in the choir, in the church choir.
That's how you started off?
That's how I started singing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Was that what like okay, so you started singing as kind of as a hobby, or was it that you were drawn to like
I was drawn to it as a
Okay.
kid. I was
so
drawn to it
childhood?
I think man, I feel like I always give this little anecdote in interviews, but like when I was young and I was growing up, that's what made me special.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't the richest or the popularist or the prettiest, but
Yeah.
when I sang, everybody listened, and that's a power that I realized early on, and I was like, oh, I can do something with this. People,
How early?
I was telling this story earlier actually too. My first solo was like, I was like 6 years old, and it was a Christmas pageant where I sang a song called "Happy Birthday Jesus," right?
Wow.
Right. And my grandma tells me,
wanna remix
that for a month, I was walking around the school like, you remember me? I'm the girl that sings so beautiful.
Get out of here. You were telling everybody?
Yeah,
that
she's
shit?
like, that's when I knew like your personality.
Wow. Happy birthday, Jesus. Yo, I wish there was a video that's just
There is.
Is it on
There
YouTube?
is somewhere. I'll send it to you. Maybe you can like put it in,
Put it
right?
in there,
right?
bro. Happy birthday, Jesus.
Happy birthday, Jesus. My
That's
first
wild.
solo. Catholic school, Candilian girl.
Yeah.
Sawasera vibes for sure. I'm Cuban and Ecuadorian.
Okay.
What are you?
I'm Colombian.
Colombian.
I mean, I'm first generation, so my family's Colombian. I was the first one to be born here.
Me too.
Miami Jackson. I'm
Mercy.
I'm a Jackson baby. Damn, you fucking
Mercy
De La
gang.
High as fuck. You
De
were
La
born
what?
De La High.
De La High. What does that mean?
That's like you fucking fancy as fuck. You went to you
Well,
got born at Mercy. You went to school, Catholic school, private school your whole life. That's De La High life. Right there.
I identify as PERRA FINA.
PERRA, FINA. That's De La High shit right there, dude. Fucking. So who was like a good inspo for you though? Like musically,
Oh, growing up
Yeah.
as a Miami girl, naturally, Gloria Estefan,
Okay,
I would lock, actually, authentically, excuse me.
it's all good.
I would lock myself in my room into like her album, and I would like do choreography and come up with dances and then perform it for my family. Like
Oh,
that's the kid that I was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Selena. Obviously anything for Selena's.
Damn, that's wild.
Anything for Selena's. And then natural, like the pop artists that we all grew up listening to, like the Britney Spears, the Lady
Okay.
Gagas, Beyonce, Alicia Keys, I loved a lot too. But I was also raised with like reggaeton too. So like me finding myself as an artist has been like a really interesting journey.
Yeah.
And it's taken me a really long time to try to figure out what I think is me. Because being from Miami, I think we're a lot of things.
Yeah.
And people have the tendency of wanting to like encajarte en algo.
Yeah.
And
Or you do it to yourself.
well, naturally, most people go their whole lives without figuring out who they are. And I'm expected to figure it out, put it in words, put it in a nice box and a bow and sell it to you.
It's so crazy, right? Like I always attribute it to the fact that we're all predominantly first geners. So we're all like the golden child. Like we all have mad
Golden
pressure.
Syndrome.
Like, oh, you gotta fuck. I came across seas and I came from South America
Came
with
from
$20 and I came from the bottom and
My grandpa sold cracked eggs on the street.
100%. Like everybody was out here like straight up trying to get it in, and now you're born here and you go to school, public school here. All the things that your parents weren't afforded. So those pressures kind of like get pushed on you, and it makes you, it makes you say genuinely, yo, like I have to figure this out like right now.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I think it's an inherent pressure generationally, like
Yeah.
to just improve, to just do better than what I did. I think
Yeah.
all of our parents kind of instilled that in us.
Yeah.
And I've been very fortunate. Like my parents are we've gone through all kinds of ups and downs as a family and as a household and stuff too. But they never stopped supporting me in my dream and what I wanted, you know. And then maybe I'm gonna get us out of Kendall.
Yeah. I mean, shit, Kendall's De La High now too, bro.
De La High now too, for sure. But when my parents moved, the house, I swear the house was worth like 175 grand. In like 20 years ago, you know, 20 years ago. Now it's price, like values of properties go up. I can't afford a house.
Yeah.
I can't afford a house.
I mean, yeah, that's the problem in South Florida right now. Affordability, está de pinga, you know? So you started your journey in music basically through choir in school, et cetera, et cetera. And then how did you decide to say, okay, I'm going to go out here and become like a public figure, like actually be an artist and take this on as like a career?
After enough years of saying, like, I want to be a singer when I grow up. I want to be a singer when I grow up.
Yeah.
You know?
At
Eventually
what
you
point do
grow
you grow
up.
up?
You're like, at one point you kind of grow up and you're like, okay, I have to like do it now.
What age do you feel you're grown up?
I think around 17 or 18
Okay.
was when I was like, oh, wow, okay, people are going to college
Yeah.
and people are like figuring out what they want to do with their lives. And this is what I want to do. You know, it's not like I live in some random town in Michigan. Like,
Yeah.
I have the luxury of saying that I was the privilege, I believe, of saying that I was born in Miami 305 Dade County, Miami.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And there's so much opportunity and so much culture here. So I said, you know what? Let me not go to theater school in New York and go into debt thinking that I'm going to be on Broadway,
Yeah.
right? Let me see what I can
Because
cultivate here.
that was one of your pathways.
Yeah. Imagine singing, dancing, and acting at the same time. Sign me up. You know, like that's what I always...
You were considering that.
Yeah, that's what I always thought that I would do, but I kind of reconsidered like my options. Like, do I go into debt? Because that's what it would be to move into New York, move to New York, right? Or like take advantage of things like Florida Prepaid and like maybe Bright Futures. And like, you know, I went to FIU. I graduated from FIU.
All right. I went to FIU too.
Halfway through FIU, I quit.
Yeah.
Because I got my first record deal.
Yeah.
And I said, oh shit.
Yeah.
Mom, I'm dropping
I'm
out
on.
of school. I'm on. You know, and then things don't play out the way that
that you think.
that they're supposed to, and the music industry is not easy, and you don't, not everybody gets lucky on their first jump, on their first lick.
Yeah.
But I went back to school. I finished online.
They first lick.
Their first lick is not it every time, you know.
Yeah.
So I went back to school, and it was kind of like a weird kind of crossroads for me at that point. I had kind of made certain commitments to myself when I was 17. I started writing songs. I started taking gigs in like random pizzerias, like in Brickell. My first gig ever was at a place called Brick Pizza. It's like right by like Red Bar.
Okay.
Right? It's not Brick Pizza anymore, you know, but that was like my first gig. My brother played guitar. He was 15. I was 17. I got my whole friends and family
I think I remember that place.
Right?
You would go in and there was like, you would
It's almost
order.
like two places.
Yeah,
almost.
it was like two places. Yeah, I remember. That was a big ass pizzeria, yeah.
Big ass pizzeria.
Yeah.
And imagine like some like cool young kids playing music.
Yeah.
I actually just got this tattoo.
Oh, yeah?
It says Dance in a Hurricane.
Okay.
And it's like, it's the first good song, at least, that I ever wrote.
That you ever wrote.
That I ever performed in like around 17. And people were like...
Yeah. So that encouraged you to like go forth and then try to pursue the career. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Like, do you feel that, what did you feel was your biggest obstacle at that point? Like saying, fuck, I'm going to do this. I mean, especially with the whole golden child thing, like, you know, pressure.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Because I could have been anything I wanted to be. I
Yeah.
believe that. I know that I could still be a lawyer if I
Yeah.
wanted to. Look at Kim K.
Yeah.
You know, I know that I can do a lot of things, but this is really what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I always said to myself, like, if somebody's gonna do it, why not me?
Yeah.
You know. I saw opportunity in Latin music, and my biggest challenge, I think, at that time was just, needing the guidance and wanting, and not sure who to put my faith in from a management standpoint, and like just people kind of giving me their influence and feeding, oh, this is what you need to do. You need to do reggaeton. Oh no, you need to do salsa. Oh no, bachata's gonna make a comeback, and you need to do this. And I was eager and capable to mold and bend to whatever, the person that was guiding me needed from me. And it took me a while to find my own kind of like strength, to kind of like today say, like, no, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to believe in. And this is what I'm doing. And I'm super excited to be that now, but that took like a long time.
Yeah, it took you a process to get to the point that you felt empowered enough to say, look, like
I tried that.
You tried it originally.
I tried this. I tried that.
Yeah.
I tried that. Thank you. Been there. Done that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but that's genuinely like a journey, right? It takes all of that bullshit that you have to go through to allows you to become a better person. And not only like as an artist, like, because the thing is, I myself, I'm an artist too, right?
Tell me more.
I make music. I make all types of things, content creation. I feel like I make short films, and I express myself in various ways. But in everything, I feel like it's a skill set that you have to learn, a skill set that you have to keep working at. Even if you have the passion, like, oh, I want to be a singer. Like, I watched how Frank Sinatra did it. Frank Sinatra wanted to be a singer since he was like a jit.
Yeah.
But he fucking sucked at singing. So he had to go legit. He went and took mad classes, bro. Frank Sinatra, when he was young, he spent all his bread. All he did was work hard as fuck to make bread to go fucking to singing classes, because he sucked as a singer.
Where did you watch this? Is there like a documentary that I can
Yeah,
watch?
it was a doc. I think it was on BBC. I'm not sure, but you could pull up various.
I love Frankie.
Yeah, and he pursued, because it wasn't just the will to say, "Oh, I want it," wasn't enough. Like,
No,
you
it's
have to
not.
have. You said earlier, luck. That's 100% luck, my dog. You really have to fucking have luck. And you also have to have some kind of plug, right? A plug or something that's gonna, like you said, guidance.
You know what I believe in? I believe in statistics,
Okay.
right? I believe in shooting your shot
Yeah.
and shooting as many shots as you can shoot until one of them makes it.
Yeah.
Right? So if you have that hustle and you have that drive and you're not easily broken
Yeah.
by missing shots, eventually you get one step up,
Yeah.
you get one door actually opens, and you keep knocking and you keep knocking. And that's something that I've really prided myself on, and I think is really attributed to my growth and my time, because I've seen a lot of people, like we were talking about people that we followed for like a long time. And I've seen people that I followed fall off. And it's, it's because quitters never win and winners never quit.
Yeah, consistency. Consistency is tough. It's tough. Let me tell you, it's tough. Like, learning this whole skill set of like content creation, video production. As you can tell, this is all solo dolo productions right here, fresh or fresh.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
I do the lighting. I had to learn about lighting. I do the audio. I had to learn about audio. I do camera setups. I had to learn about the camera setups. Like, all these skill sets that I acquired is the same thing. Like, consistency, because I was like, I'm trying to make the product better. And even right now, I'm still trying to make the product better at all times. Now I know what my strong suits are and what I'm good at, and now I know what I could pass on to somebody else. That being said, when you come to make music, your production, what's your process? Do you do everything yourself? Like, do you come up with a melody and do you write the song, the lyric and everything, and the beat PM and all of that shit? Or do you go in with producers and you're like, this is my vision, I want it like that? Like, how do you do that?
I think it's a little bit like what you spoke about, where it's a game of like necessity, and I think that people that are creatives and then people that are really like uber creative are able to be professional problem solvers and just figure it out one step at a time. If something needs to get done, am I gonna sit and wait for somebody to do it for me, or am I just gonna figure it out? And I don't doubt my ability, and I don't doubt your ability to just figure it out. You know, YouTube it. Everything's a Google away. You know, so for a long time, I kind of never knew how to record or engineer myself, but I would songwrite. Like I songwrited I learned to write songs very early, very young, kind of like in my head, you know, without a beat, without any, because I didn't really, I play a little bit of piano. Yeah. My brother played a little bit of a guitar. So that helped.
But what do you mean by that? Like with melody or just like
I would just come
lyrics?
up with a melody in my head. I would just come up with like a melody or like a concept, and then I would put a melody to it, and then I would find somebody with a guitar to kind of like produce it, you know?
Play it out.
To play it out, to like try to play along with me. That's how I first started, like with my brother and like with first people that I started working with. And I was very fortunate early on to get a lot of opportunities, like with people that, you know, Grammy-winning producers and engineers that wanted to work with me very young, you know? So
that's dope.
Which is amazing and fortunate, but I was also kind of like a victim to whatever they wanted me to do, because they injected what they thought would be popping, you know? Their vision. And I was cool with it. I'll run with it. Oh, you think we should do mambo? Let's fucking do mambo. I was doing whatever. But there's only so far that you can take a lot of those songs. I have hundreds. And when I tell you hundreds of records that are stuck at like this weird 75% mark, because I don't have the access to the files. They have the access to the files. When somebody else records and engineers you, they have the session. So unless you can get them in the room, unless you can pay them, unless you can do something to get those files, that song's never going to be done. It's never going to be out. You're never going to be able to do anything with it other than like a bootleg demo that you leave the studio with that day. So after like 10 years of me bouncing around studios, essentially asking friends to hook me up, paying engineers and like paying for my own studio time to just get things done, I got an opportunity at Studio Center, right? My first manager was Pierre Hachar. My second manager was Hector Mendez. He owned the studio, which I worked out of for a while. But I didn't know how to record or engineer myself. The only time I could use the room was when I had somebody that knew how to drive the spaceship. Yeah. And when he sold the studio to Pitbull and Rob and Mr. 305 Inc., I always joke around and say that he sold me with it, because I basically just never left. I would just keep showing up, but it was around the time of the pandemic hit, and nobody could come to the studio to work with me. Yeah. So I had this opportunity to kind of prove myself to these people, but nobody to help me drive. So at that point, out of literally pure necessity, I was like, well, fuck it. Let me figure out if I can engineer myself. 2 years later, I'm engineering for myself. I'm essentially producing for myself at this point, producing for other artists. And I'm like so mad at myself. Like, why didn't I do it before? But now I'm a whole other monster, and I'm capable in new ways to be a creator outside of me and my music or whatever, but placements and commercials and voiceovers and things that I now have the ability to handle, and it feels good.
Yeah, and it gives you another revenue potential.
Exactly.
Instead of just like only focusing on having to have hits to supplement your income, now you could do it various other ways that still have to do with creativity.
I call it octopus life.
Octopus life.
I know you'd like that.
Octopus life.
I knew you would like that. Because that's exactly that. Being a creative, you have to have multiple streams of income, multiple tentacles. Like, I go to castings and I do like acting auditions. Like next week, I literally just got the call yesterday that I got casted in a DirecTV Univision commercial. Okay. With Sebastian Yatra. And I'm going to be the host. He's like a reggaeton singer. All right. Colombian, you should know.
Is he white?
Yeah, I mean, blanquito, but he's Colombian.
I hate that shit. We're going to talk about that shit. I'm not... In the Latin music, industry. I mean, let's talk about it right now.
Sure.
You brought it up. So Latin dance music. I love Latin music. I love throwback Latin music. I'm a big lover of throwback.
Like what, merengue and like...
No, like, I'm Colombian, so I like cumbias.
Okay.
I like porros. I love merengue, but like throwback merengue and bachata, right? More of like the 60s, 70s bachata. I like 60s. I like fania, a lot of like that kind of salsa, It's a lot of essence
the real
in it.
sazon, not watered down.
It's not watered down. It's like a lot of live instruments.
We're gonna fight.
Yeah, it's a lot of instruments that are so. But I mean,
and I get that, and I respect that,
Yeah.
But me, as an artist, right? Me being who I am, born and raised, Miami girl with so much cultural influence.
Yeah.
I can't say that me in a box is that. I can appreciate that, right?
I'm not saying you have to be
I
that.
I know. So me, and I know that there's other people like me. I love the Spanish language. I speak it fluently, right? But I also like pop music. I like Latin music. I like pop music.
100%.
So I, for a really long time, had a hard time understanding why, if I wanted to make music in Spanish, why do I need to be trapped in reggaeton, in merengue, in salsa, in bachata? That's in now Spanish trap, right? So that's what kind of began the wave. Like, so now there's Spanish trap.
Like, why can't Latin music just be universal?
Why can't it be music in Spanish?
Why can't it be music in Spanish?
Why does it have to be Latin music?
Why does it have to be
chucucha, chucucha, chucucha,
yes?
Chucucha.
Why does it have to be like? Why can't Latin music just be something? Just music in Spanish?
Music.
Whatever the fuck.
Whatever genre I like.
Genre, exactly. Like English music doesn't fall like, you have to do hip hop or country. No,
you have to do country.
Whatever the fuck you want to do.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a language. It's a language. It's not a genre. It's a language. It's not a genre.
Make music however the fuck you want.
Can somebody retweet this? Like,
it's a language.
It's a language. It's not a genre.
So like, all right. So so within the genre, what initially started this off is basically the genre of reggaeton, right? Reggaeton started in the Afro communities of Panama. Afro Latinos, right? Black Afro Latinos. It traveled to Puerto Rico. In Puerto Rico, in the Black Afro Latino communities and in the hoods, that's what they were playing. They came down on those motherfuckers. Literally, like the police were going to the records and shut down the records stores if they were selling this reggaeton shit. All of a sudden, reggaeton now is the talk of the town, right? It's the top of shit. Everybody loves it. But the face of it is white passing as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, it gets taken away from the original people, general. Nobody, first of all, there should be an award for this motherfucker.
He started it.
There should be, if you talk about reggaeton, there should be an award called the General Award. Because that motherfucker is the starter or one of the original starters.
And they give the crown to Yankee.
They give it to Daddy Yankee, a white passing Latino. Like, no problem with fucking Yankee. I love what he does.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, all the people who originated this shit get no love.
I never thought about it like that.
J Balvin wins Afro, whatever fucking, what was this that he won a Grammy for? Afro Latino, Afro Punk, Afro Beat of the Year. A white passing Colombian wins Afro Beat of the Year. Like, what kind of stupid shit is this, my dog?
Yeah.
Like, you know how many Afro Latinos there is in Colombia? How many there's
in
the
Cuba,
United States,
in the Dominican
in Cuba,
Republic?
All of these places, Univision, particularly Telemundo, there is no representation of the vast amount of Latins that are here. Like, we're not a monolith.
Yeah.
We're a bunch of different people who look different. We have indigenous people here. We have Afro Latinos. So basically, when it comes to Latin music and when it comes to like Latin content, I feel like it's all whitewashed. You know, like I was looking at.
I hear that.
At what you were talking about. You won La Reina del Flow, right?
Reina De La Cancion.
Reina De La Cancion, 2019.
Yeah.
I was looking at when the actual the deciding day, and it was like you and 5 other girls.
Yeah.
They're all white passing girls.
Yeah, the girl that won was blonde.
I'm looking at this. I'm like, already hating it, but I'm loving that you're winning. You know,
Yeah.
like you're from Miami, and you're like, yo, this motherfucker won. Like, I'm loving that, but I'm hating like, yo, where's the diversity in this, my dog?
There was more diversity in the top 12. Like, for example, my friend Melaner, who's a super talented Dominican singer from New York. And she's Afro-Latina, and she's fully like Afro and like super curvy and super talented and like sings amazing. And I think that there's a shortage in that movement, you know, but there are a few faces that are popping up and owning it,
that's
like
crazy,
Amara,
though.
La Negra and stuff.
It shouldn't be a few. There's more than like
I'll tell you what, 10 years ago there was only a few females.
Nothing.
There was only a few females.
Yeah.
Like when I started
Celia Cruz.
When I started like in 2011, I was telling earlier, like when I was turning 18 and I'm like, oh shit, like, okay, what am I gonna do now? Right? I looked at the pop industry and I said, wow, man, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of competition, like Steve Aoki and Tiesto, and this was like house music, like this was when house music was very whitewashed, right? Like very pop.
Yeah. Another genre that started by black people in Detroit. Okay, let's be fucking clear. House music was started by black people in Detroit. Okay, Detroit, Michigan. Black people started fucking house music. It goes to Europe. Now it's the whitest shit in the world. It's like what the fuck?
It's an underground movement. I mean, I'll have to fact check you on the house music thing, because I would venture to say that it would be more European than it is Detroit, but I'm curious.
Detroit,
and I'm not
Michigan.
Detroit,
house
Michigan.
music. Look that shit up.
Well, what I was saying was that there was few females.
Yeah.
You know, there was J-Lo and Shakira at the time, the only females in Latin music, period.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Right? And I saw an opportunity there. You know, I said there's space. I see that reggaeton is like growing a movement. And I remember I'd be going to reggaeton events and all of my friends were like tiki mode.
Yeah.
And nobody wanted to come with me to the Zion and Lennox concert and the things. But I saw an opportunity there, and now there's a lot of us at the table. Yeah. Because we've been pushing that door open. Next week at the studio, we're hosting an all-female writing camp.
That's what's up.
Which is super cool. Unheard of. You know how many times I've been the only female in the room? All the time.
You know how many times? All the time.
All the time. All the time.
That's a shame that you go to a writing room and it's all white passing males for a reggaeton. Like, there should be women there. There should be indigenous people, or because all these people have different perspectives, and different talents that they could share, which then makes the creative process even better. I don't mean like, oh, just have an indigenous or an Afro Latino there just to have face. No.
Some of the best music I made in my early years was with Haitians, actually.
I love compa. Compa, that's some Miami shit right there. I've been to Haiti twice. Okay? I've been to Haiti. I've been to Port-au-Prince, my dog. I've been in that bitch, you know? I love me some compa, some grill, some John, the food. But compa music is... I was listening to some the other day, actually, at Rum and Coke, this event that was at Dante's Hi-Fi. Shout out Rum and Coke on Sundays.
Shout out Dante's Hi-Fi.
Yeah, shout out Dante's Hi-Fi. And that rum and Coke party, they were playing like this Afro beat, compa, like jungle music. I don't know what the fuck, but that shit was popping, G. That shit was like legit popping.
A Haitian party's lit.
It's lit
Haitian
as fuck.
parties are lit, and they have a band.
Yes.
When they have a band, and it's like I'm about it. I'm about all kinds of music. That's why like finding your identity in music is hard.
And that's why I mean, like, you bring all those people to the table is a better creative process.
Well, now as a producer, right, I can say that I am producing my own project. I always like, I need to find a producer to give me like a unified sound. I need to like, I have commitment issues in and of itself. Imagine with like my music, right? So finding one producer that I really fuck with, that I think gets me and isn't gonna overly inject, you know, their vision or was nearly impossible, you know? So at now, because I'm able to record myself, because I'm able to source beats from people that I fuck with and create my sound by myself, it's eclectic, and I think it's flavorful. I really want to call my album Sazón Completa,
Sazón completo. Sazón Goya.
It is all dance and like high energy music, but that's me.
Yeah.
You know, I'll sing a balada maybe later in my life, but for right now, like me and what I bring to a show and what I want to bring to the world is that Miami. Is that Miami sazon, you know? That's what I want to bring. So it is like a little bit of like mix of like that house EDM vibe and a little bit of that electro Latino thing that's happening now. It's a small movement. I think I'll give the crown to Farruko right now with pepas, you know, and like saxo beat stuff and horns lend themselves to Latineo, a little bit of dance.
That sound originates in Colombia.
Yeah.
And La Guajira.
Bajo Mundo is what some people are calling it now.
Yeah, it's a crazy like, it's like world music, but at the same time like Latin world music, you know.
It just happens to be in Spanish.
It just happens to be in Spanish. But yeah, bro. I mean, I congratulate you that you've taken on, you know, that role of producing your own music, because I mean nobody else knows that.
What I want, my vision.
What you want, your vision more than yourself.
Exactly.
You know? And yeah, I mean, the hardest part is knowing the skill set to push it out of your brain. That's really the hardest part. Yeah. Like getting in front of like Ableton or whatever DAW you use or whatever, and like taking it out of your head, like the sounds in your head, and putting it there like this. No, but I want it to sound like this, and I want the timing to be like this, and I want this BPM. So when you produce, do you stick to a certain BPM?
I've been sticking around like the 125 range right now recently, like anywhere
like
between like 120 and like 128.
Oh, okay.
Depending on the vibe, you know, some are a little bit slower than others, but that's part of the sazon.
Yeah,
it's part of the fricassé.
Well, I mean, you see those little concepts. As a producer, I understand what you're saying, and I know how like that makes you take charge of your music, right? Yeah,
and I work with a lot of producers. I'm getting a lot of people that are like sending me beats now because I'm putting little snippets on my social media, and people are kind of really getting a vibe for where I'm going and where I'm at now. So for a long time, people were sending me fucking reggaeton beats. I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm so over reggaeton. I'm so like adda with it.
Well, I'm glad you said that because
so like, adda.
How do you feel? Okay, how do you feel about music is music, right?
I love reggaeton forever, but like I don't want to make it anymore.
My question is, why do you feel? I mean, do you feel that the vast majority of reggaeton focuses on the content is like sex and lust in comparison to like any other genre, right?
Yeah.
And why do you feel that is?
Because I feel like us as Latinos are very passionate. So passion and those kind of lyrics drive us and get us, you know, a little spicy, you know. So mixed alcohol, I think that is it's just kind of like a key to like our movement, like to get us to move, a little kind of our little secret button.
Our secret button.
Yeah, I would venture to say that much. Yeah. That's my answer. Final answer.
Final answer. I mean,
final answer.
Yeah, I mean, it really, the content. I've never heard like reggaeton songs that are not about like fucking or like about like you left me or you broke my heart. Like a lot about love and fucking, right? I've never heard no like reggaeton song about like some guy and like country music. You know, country music.
There's romantic reggaeton songs. Like Such writes a lot of like breakup songs. Like she's single now.
No, but it still deals with love.
But she's single now and she wants to like party. Like she wants to.
There's no like my truck. Like, you know, like a country music song, they'll write my green truck and shit.
You know what? Your challenge, I accept it.
You know what I'm saying? Like something that
I might write a song about just like an inanimate object next week, and I'm gonna do it as a challenge. I've been challenging myself actually now with like dance music.
Okay.
Because my last single was a moody like reggaeton urban record. And it wasn't about sex or anything, but it was about
which one is that one?
It's called Animales.
I love that song. I was about to speak to you about that one.
Yeah.
I feel that is okay because I was going through your catalog, right? And I'm like, okay, that Animales, you recently dropped it.
Yeah.
the subject matter isn't about that.
No.
It's very relatable.
Thank you.
Because it talks about just general things that people go through in life, in relationships in general, right?
And the ugly parts of
The
a relationship.
ugly, yeah, it's not like only like the good part, like this song, and it's super catchy.
Thank you.
You know, I love that shit. Did you produce it yourself?
I actually a girl named Chris Chill. She's an Ecuadorian girl.
Okay.
She produced. Shout out Chris Chill. She was one of the songwriters behind the song Telepatia.
Okay, I love
by
that song.
Caliuchis
Yeah.
and Taki Taki.
Okay.
So she's got some really cool credits under her belt, and I got the
shit.
opportunity to work with her. And she's Ecuadorian, so for me, I was
That's
like,
what's up. Lit.
There's not that many of us, you know. So I was right, like that are like.
Did you guys come in with the flags and shit at the studio?
So we were like Ecuador en alto and had like a great time. And I remember I was recently kind of like broken up from the relationship that song is about. And I came in and I was like, let's write a song called Inversionista. And I'm a perra and I'm this and I'm that. And she's like, no, honey.
Yeah.
That's not what we're doing today.
Yeah.
And she took the song out of me, you know? So I don't know if she's a witch or anything, but like it was like, I was like, damn, I didn't know I needed to write this song. And it's a very sentimental song to me. It's one of like the first times I've really ever been really real in some of my lyrics, and that's the challenge.
Comes across.
And that's the challenge that I'm giving myself now. Like we actually remixed those songs into dance remixes, which are surprisingly doing even a little bit better than the actual song is. And that's a sign that we're in the right direction. But I made that decision because as that song was released, I really kind of had this epiphany that this is where I want to go. I want to be a pioneer of this movement. Like I want to wear that crown. I can't hold the reggaeton crown like a Nati Natasha or a Karol G. I can hold this crown.
Yeah.
I want to own this crown, right? So I made the remixes and I think it's so successful because it's a sad song on a dance beat.
Yeah.
Which is hard to do because naturally you hear a dance beat and you want to party perreo, hookah fumeteo, like
like la joda.
la jodedera. But I'm challenging myself now to write ballads, like sad songs on EDM beats, and now I'm gonna write a song about an inanimate object because of you.
That's what's up.
I'm gonna write a song about el mango, like el mango.
El mango, or la papaya has a sexual connotation to it, but
there's a few papaya songs. Have you heard
Yeah.
the Es mi papaya de 40 libras de aquí? It's the Cubans are eating it up right now.
Oh yeah, it's cubateo or something.
Yeah, it's cubaton. It's super cubaton.
Bro, cubaton. I don't even want to go into that.
More white.
No, not white. It's just that cubaton gives me a headache. I can't hear more than like 4 songs back to back.
I hear you.
It's very like intense. Let's just
play.
put it that way.
But it's in the shuffle play.
Yeah, you could get a couple songs, but they can't be back to back.
Okay.
Me dan un dolor de cabeza. You're like, all right, yeah, chill out.
Okay, we're not going to Mangoes on a Tuesday.
Yes, exactly. Like, but that's what's up, man. I like the transparency, being open to yourself, learning more about yourself as an artist, and like it comes across in your music, you know, like that Animales song. When I was listening to it on YouTube. And
Did
then
you watch the video? Yeah.
I was like, man, this shit is dope. Like the way that the lyrics have so much like weight to them, right?
Thank you.
And you also get to like move yourself.
And the
right?
way that I did the video, I intentionally wanted dancers in it, because I thought it would be like almost too transparent to like have actors like fighting.
Yeah.
I wanted them to be in conflict, in a fight, but like dance it, you know, so that it would come out in a creative and like a little bit more of like an elegant way. Although those moments are ugly and nobody talks about them.
Yeah.
But that's what I was really happy to be able to connect with people with. So it's hard though to tap into those parts of yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of like one of those situations where you just gotta bear it and like open yourself up, which is hard. Cause
have you ever grinned and bared it and opened yourself up?
Yeah, I have. I mean, the song sucked, but like I'm not gonna front. The song was horrible, but it was very cathartic. It was like I was like, yo, I needed to say this shit, and I needed to write this, and I needed to get this shit out of me because, like, I've been saying it to myself in my head for the last 3 weeks or lo que sea.
Totally.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm driving myself crazy, and I haven't talked to, I kind of feel like music is kind of like my therapist, you know?
Totally.
Because it's like, oh, I haven't talked to nobody about this. I don't feel comfortable talking to anybody about this. How am I going to get it out of me?
Through any kind of art, whether it's film production, literally being a painter, an artist, or a songwriter like I am, you're putting feelings into reality. You're turning a feeling into something, right? Into something that somebody else can listen to and relate and say, yeah, I felt that before, or I haven't felt that before, you know, like you're making it real. And sometimes that process is literally like, you know, you talk to a therapist and you have to get it out. And sometimes when you just talk about it with a friend, you feel better about it. You understand yourself in a way that like you're able to kind of internalize, grow from, adapt from, you know, but a lot of people don't ever face that. And I think the beautiful part is that when after writing a song like this and people telling me, so many people telling me, and so many like, you know, bad bitches that I've spoken to that have talked to me about some really toxic moments that they've had. And I'm like, wow, like I would never think that someone like you has been through that, but everybody swallows it.
I mean, yeah, everybody on Instagram only shows the best side of themselves. Nobody's on Instagram like, yo, I feel like killing myself today.
Yeah.
Even though people have those thoughts. You never see that shit on Instagram.
Or the bad day, the story of your ex that chased you down. You saw that thing on Only in Day. The guy chased her down like with her hair, dragged her. The shit
What?
is real.
I didn't see that shit.
Shit is real. Like some real domestic things.
Domestic violence type situation.
Domestic violence type things that go on behind the scenes. And nobody's open about that. And everybody's scared of talking about it and embarrassed by it. I was embarrassed to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because it makes you feel like less than. But it happens way more than anybody talks about.
Yeah, no, those subjects have to be broached, especially in the Latin community. You know, like we in the Latin community, we have this whole like this front that we have to put up, like we're always good. Like we could never show any.
Yeah, because your mom wants to show all her primas and the tios that we're good, that we're the golden
regardless of
family.
what happens. We're the golden family, or we're the good side of the family.
The good side of the family.
You guys are the shitty side.
Imagínate la loca, la prima that wants to be a singer, that she's like on and on for like 10 years. Have been like, oh, she could have been a lawyer. She could have been this. She could have been that. And she's still singing in Blue Martinis and like random hole in the wall bars, you know? But
I mean, that's the process. But they don't see that.
Now I'm signed to Pitbull. Now they're like, ay, la prima signed to Pitbull.
Now I'm signed to Pitbull. It's like, what the fuck? What would you say to your like younger self? Your 10 years ago.
Keep going. Don't get tired. Don't get tired. And like, it's a marathon.
Yeah.
It's a marathon and it's not a race, you know? I've hit a couple licks recently that I'm really proud of and excited about. But it's just about keeping going, you know, because there's so much more that needs to be done, and never being satisfied and never being complacent and never allowing for anybody to get in your way. If somebody's tired, if somebody's slacking, if somebody is, you know, supposed to be managing you the right way or doing this or doing that and they're not, keep going. Do it yourself.
Yeah.
Do it yourself. Keep continuing to figure it out. Learn how to do the lights, learn how to do the audio, learn how to edit on Premiere, learn how to do the things. I edit my own blogs.
I edit my own shit.
I know you do. I know you do because I do too. I do too. And I'm like going on websites and looking for transitions and how do I download the pack. And I don't know. And nobody taught us how to do these things, but it's in our vision. It's in our mind. And the only person that's going to figure out how to do it better than you is like literally no one. It's you.
Yo, that's why I love talking to creators, because you always get that like, yo, in that like we're in the trenches type of situation. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel you on that 100%. I'm in those trenches with you, like out here figuring out how to do things, how to connect, even different business strategies, how to network right, how to connect with different people, how to do all those
marketing,
things.
digital marketing,
all the hats that you have to put on. So so the Animales is a single, Is that gonna be part of an EP, or like, are you working on something like that?
I don't think that it will be part of my next EP.
Okay.
Over the rest of the year, I have like a song to release every 4 weeks, every 4 to 5 weeks. So it's going to be a lot of music that I'm really excited about for the first time. You know, like I've been excited about songs. I was excited about Animales.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited about this new wave and this new phase because I'm being liberated by like my team and everybody to really explore this genre and just do it in my way, you know, and be a leader in it.
Yeah.
Which is really exciting for me because for a long time I was releasing like reggaeton and urban music, and I think I'm good at it, but I don't think I bring anything to the game there that's that life-changing and viralizing. This to me, I know that I can own, I can be different. I know that I can go around the world and bring this Miami Latin EDM chukucha energy, you know, but like fusion, and I want to
Broach real subjects.
Approach real subjects. I have a healthy mix of the party perreo songs.
Yeah.
Like I have a song in the project called La Perra Dice Wow.
That sounds like a joyful song, right? Like you having fun.
You're having fun.
Yeah.
You're having fun. When I land the Purina and I Am's Chow sponsorship, just know it's lit.
Yes, that's the whole point, like to have fun with
I'm having fun with it. Actually, that hook for that song, I wrote it with my friends drunk as fuck at a party.
Dope.
And I took a voice note of us singing it and I put it in my back pocket.
Oh, I've done that shit a couple times.
You know?
Those drunken moments.
They're good moments.
They're good moments.
Yeah. But then I have a good, like, right now I'm at like a 30% of like the sad girl dance music, you know? But I'm working a little bit more. I'm actually challenging myself to get there and be a full sazon.
Yeah, like exposing yourself to like you know how like me and my friends were just talking about the Kendrick Lamar drop that he did last week or 2 weeks ago, the album. And we're like, okay, a lot of artists, they have like this persona, right? That you have to portray to the people. This is what they want to fall in love with. And I'm like, Kendrick Lamar's persona is just a raw human. Like his whole entire album. Have you heard the album?
Not his new drop, no.
Well, the album is just basically like almost like an entire album of just therapy.
I
of
love
him
that.
talking through like the human condition.
Yeah.
You know, basically like shit happens.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you're a superstar. Doesn't matter if you're a homeless person. You're going through shit. Everybody's and some shit's gonna happen to you. You have to be, you have to have a stoic mindset from my point of view. Like you have to be like, well, regardless of I'm up or down, I have to keep consistently doing this shit, right?
Totally.
But yeah, like that kind of like expression is really appealing to a lot of people right now because they're just tired of the fluff.
Yeah.
Right.
I think for a long time, like especially growing up with this talent and like knowing that this was what I wanted to do, I always kind of like identified myself by it, right? And it's funny that you bring up the human condition. It's like, oh, tell me about yourself. Like I'm Vicky. I was always Vicky the singer, you know, Vicky the singer. And when you're writing music and you're finding yourself and you're learning about what it is that your own personal goals are, I had to decide a long time ago. I had literally had to make the conscious decision that I am going to be an artist for the rest of my life. Whether I get paid for it or not, that's a different story. But I am always going to have art in my Rubik's Cube in one position or another, you know. At sometimes it's bringing me a good amount of money. At other times it's just a part of, you know, what I do for fun. It's Tuesdays I'll go to acting class and this is what I do for my creative spirit.
Yeah.
Right now, you know. And finding out who I am outside of that has been the most beautiful journey of my career, you know.
Yeah.
Through music and like all encompassing. So my music is always just gonna grow with me. I'm a mess in here, so it's always.
We all are.
I'm a clusterfuck, so my music is gonna be that, and who knows? Maybe 5 years from now, I put a whole jazz EP out together. You know,
that'd be dope, yo.
And that might be where I'm at 5
Gaga
years
did
from
it.
now. Yeah, hell yeah.
She did it with
She's another icon of mine. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what's up, man. So if people want to reach out to you, or let me ask you, how did you come up with Vikina? We never broached it.
Oh, yeah. We started the podcast like that. My name is Victoria Cristina.
Oh.
Y por mucho tiempo me llamaba Victoria. Solo Victoria. My first started my career, my like tagline in my song was Llegó Victoria. Like
Llegó Victoria. Estamos en Victoria.
Llegó Victoria. So
that was your first rap song?
Yeah, I would rap a little bit. But now I was like, man, how do I like brand myself from an SEO standpoint, right? I have my digital marketing hat on now.
Okay.
And I'm like, how do I brand myself and create digital presence with a name like Victoria? Doesn't, you know? So it was at one of my many evolutions. I had like quit my job. I like broke up with my boyfriend. I went back to school and I'm like, who am I?
Yeah.
And my great grandmother was passing away at the time. She was my abuela Vikita. She was super sassy.
Yeah.
And I por poco me llamo Vikita.
Uh-huh. After your grandmother.
After my grandmother. Because I was like, oh, Vikita. Like, you know, but it's muy chiquita.
Vikita. Muy chiquita.
So somebody, actually one of the Haitian producers that I was working with at the time, said, what about Vikina? And I was like, stop talking. What do you mean, like Selena? like Rihanna, like Shakira, like Vikina? Hell yeah.
That's what's up.
I changed my name on Instagram, on Facebook. I got a new YouTube. I got everything. I changed. Everybody thought I was nuts. And now nobody even knows that my name is Victoria.
Damn. Look at that shit, dude. That's wild,
like,
bro.
Nobody even knows. Like, I mean, I talk about it openly, but like most people just know me as Vikina. And it's been wow. I changed my name in 2015, 2016.
Okay. So it's almost 7-8 years.
Almost 7-8 years now at this point.
Damn, that's what's up, yo. I like that. Like, you're industrious and you just like go for it. You know what I'm saying? That's
Miami hustle.
Miami hustle as fuck, bro.
Miami hustle.
So if people want to reach out to you, they want to find your shit, what's the easiest way for them to find and follow all your stuff?
Sure. Well, you can find me on all digital platforms at Vikina Music. That's Vikina.
You got to do the shoulders with it? I like that.
Vikina. Because, no, not to be confused with a piña, because people want to call me Vikina. Sometimes I'm like, this is not my... What does that mean? Like, they put an ñ in my name, and I'm like, I'm not Vikina. It's
Vikina.
Vikina.
All right.
Na.
That's what's up.
Na.
That's what's up. We got and we look forward to your new music being dropped. You say every 4 weeks?
Yeah, my today we launched the Culito challenge on TikTok.
I saw that.
Are you gonna do the challenge with me?
I'll try to do the challenge.
Well, it's easy. It's easy. You just follow me. It's like hand on the hand on the hip. That's it.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to make me learn a whole bunch of shit right now.
He's going to learn it, but we're going to do the Culito challenge. And then in a few weeks, Stay With Me is going to release, which is like one of my first house records that's going to be in Spanish.
Okay.
Spanglish.
All right. That's what's up.
And I'm super excited. It's going to be like the first of
Stay With Me.
Stay With Me.
All right. That's what's up. So looking forward to all that music coming out. And everything is at Vikina or at Vikina Music.
At Vikina Music, yeah.
At Vikina Music.
So Instagram at Vikina Music, Spotify, you could just find me as Vikina, Vikina. And like YouTube at Vikina Music, Facebook at Vikina Music. I do the PERRA FINA collection.
PERRA FINA collection coming for your ass.
Yeah, we're mining PERRA coin at the moment, looking for...
Get out of here, are you serious?
Yeah.
Yo, you out here all that hustle as fuck, dog.
You don't even know me.
Damn, that's crazy, G.
To be continued.
TVC. Well, thank you so much for coming to talk to us at the Que BOLA podcast. Thank you for sharing your hustle, sharing your journey, your creative journey with us. Hopefully, like, other people who are listening to this or watching this, like, could get some inspiration from it and follow their own creative path. You know, that's what it's all about. Like, being happy and joyful, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
and doing what you want to do every day. You know, life is how we fill our time, right?
100%.
So even if it's one day a week that you get to do this creative outlet thing that fills your soul, do it.
Yeah, do that shit.
Literally do it.
Do that, man. Thank you so much. If you liked it, like I always say, share it with your friends. And if you hate it, share it with your enemies. Just share this motherfucker, all right? Peace. Vikina, thank you so much for coming on and talking to your boy, chopping it up, being so awesome, so transparent, so insightful. Thank you so much for your time. Everybody knows Vikina Music. Follow her ascent to the top. It's a beautiful, beautiful journey that she's going on. If, like I say, once again, if anybody knows any creatives that are doing something influential in South Florida, influencing the culture, holla at your boy, Wassa, WASSA, at fresherfresh.com. And we'll sit down and chop it up with them, seeing how they doing their thing, all right? Thank you so much. It's your boy D-Fig. Hasta la próxima. Te quiero. Cógelo con Take it easy. Peace.